Hey everyone, let's stick with us versus herd. If it's your first time here, let the content, hit subscribe. If you want to get notifications for when we go live, tap the bell. We go live 30 minutes before market open. And if you want to join the UVH fam, links are below in the description to our Discord and our options trading group on Facebook. Today, the S&Ps are up 25, Dow's up 212. Nasdaq up 95, Russell's up 23. We got gold up 8. Volatility's going down a little bit. Let's see what we got for VXX 1670. VIX is at 2275. What is going on, guys? What's going on, Jeff? Red Dust Faiz. If you're just joining, say what up. Hit the like button. We're going to get things going on a Tuesday. It's going to be a short week this week. We had MLK Day yesterday, so market was closed. Yo, Benito, how we doing? Sipping some coffee. Gonna take it easy a little bit. Let's see what we can do here. Some news that we got going on right now. So we had, let's see here, pull it up. Let me pull it up. Okay. So big earnings was Goldman Sachs this morning. Goldman Sachs reported earnings of $12.08 versus $7.47 a share. So pretty big. I mean, ginormous. $12 versus the expected of $7.47. Revenue was $11 billion versus $9.9 billion, so almost $12 billion in revenue. They did $2 billion more. Equities traders produced a 40% bump in revenue from a year earlier to $2.3 billion, exceeding expectations by nearly $500 million. So the good news is there's traders here. There's retail traders here. You know, that's what I like to see, is that retail is, you know, still strong in the market, still has influence on the market. Like, when there's no retail in the market's just algo driven by the investment firms, you know. But if there's a big retail presence, obviously it makes the market more fun, more participation, more liquidity. You get the idea. Investment banking rose 27% to $2.61 billion, exceeding the $2.15 billion estimate. So Goldman Sachs this morning is back up to where it was before the drop. So that Friday drop had a little bit of recovery on Friday. I mean, was kind of, Goldman Sachs was kind of crazy, but it's back up to where it was. It's still, I mean, even with the drop on Friday, Goldman Sachs still maintained trend. I mean, Goldman Sachs is a stock that I usually like to trade, but for some reason I just haven't gotten into it, you know. Yo, Ben, what's going on? Facebook got some upgrades. Nice. Let's see here. Facebook. Ooh, 250, 256, 258 area. Well, let's see if we can push 265, 270 before earnings, you know. Bank of America was the other big stock this morning that was reporting. Bank of America quarterly profit earnings of 59 cents, or 4 cents better than what the estimated was. So 59 cents versus 55 cents expectation. Revenue fell short. Revenue was at $20.2 billion versus $20.7. Some of the revenue shortfall was from missed expectations in the trading division. So it's kind of interesting that J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs posted huge trading, you know, profits, and Bank of America didn't. Revenue shortfall from missed expectations in the trading division. The firm posted $1.74 billion with a $2.11 billion estimate. Interesting. Yo, Sunsgrave, Justin was today. High energy, Ben. What's going on? We got Big Bull Energy in the chat. So Bank of America this morning, I didn't trade any of these earnings just because, I don't know. So Bank of America dropped down to 32. I mean, it's still pretty bullish. I mean, it could come down to 30 even, still be bullish, but Bank of America not performing. Sarah, how you doing? Goldman Sachs, let's see. What's JP Morgan this morning? JP Morgan's flat this morning on the news here. Tonight, earnings tonight. So be mindful, or not necessarily tonight, but after market close. After market close, Netflix is posting earnings. After market close today. I do have a debit call spread that I'm going to close out today. Hopefully make some money on it, but you never know. So Netflix is posting their earnings, and then let's see here. Netflix moving up 502 right now. Clarence James, what's going on? If you guys are just your like button, appreciate it. Netflix looks a little squeezy here. So I mean, is it gonna be in line? Is it not gonna move? Is it gonna stay consolidated? I mean, what's the I think IV 91%. I mean, not bad. $38 move. I don't know. I don't think. We'll see what the price. We'll see what pricing is. I don't think I'm going to trade earnings on Netflix. I mean, I'm trading pre-earnings on Netflix is about all I'm doing. I mean, I only have a Netflix. I mean, I have a very, very small trade on right now for Netflix. So I'm gonna take that off, I think. But I mean, the good news is earnings season in full effect. We're just getting into it. A lot of catalysts to trade. We have tomorrow. We have the just be mindful tomorrow Biden inauguration tomorrow. But other than that, there's not really. Let's see, is this stuff freezing up? What's going on here? YouTube okay. I think I'm okay. So just be mindful. Tomorrow, Biden inauguration. Now I don't know if anything is going to go down, but just be mindful. Just be mindful of what's happening in America. I mean, tomorrow is a transfer. I guess you want to call it the transfer of power, and I guess obviously that's pretty important in America to obviously make sure nothing happens. So we'll see. I mean, I definitely am holding a little bit heavy. I mean, I'm in AMD, I'm in ARK-K. What else am I in? I'm in Facebook, Lululemon, mRNA, Netflix, Snow, Square. See what's Square. ARK-K, I think, is actually ARK is pushing up big this morning. I mean, it fell all the way off on Friday. I mean, this thing, I just started trading it, ARK-K, and honestly, I can't believe how much this thing moves on a daily basis. You know what I mean? This thing went from 136 up to 140. I mean, it's having $4 to $5 swings a day. Here it went from 140 up to 144. Then here 144, 147, 148 down to 141. That's a $7 swing in a day. Is anyone else trading ARK-K? What do you guys think about it? Do you like it? You not like it? I'm trying to figure out kind of how it moves, because I know I was looking this up. Let me pull it up here. ARK, where you at? Let me pull it up here. You invest in it? Anybody trade it? I'm gonna pull it up here. So check this out. So ARK, Okay, let me zoom in here a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. Okay. So ARK, the interesting thing I find is that ARK, Tesla is almost 10% of its weight. Roku is at 7.5%. Then you have Square. I'm not sure what CRISPR Therapeutics is, but I mean that's pretty high on the list. But Square and Teladoc, so it's kind of the weightings of what they chose to weight at the top. I kind of find interesting, like Spotify, Baidu, Zillow. Zillow is kind of crazy to me. So, I mean, obviously, I mean, they have, it's a holdings of 51 stocks. And, you know, obviously Tesla on Friday was a big mover for this. Friday was a big mover for Tesla, which impacted obviously the stock of ARK. Now, Tesla only closed down the day 2%. But I mean, this thing, let's look at ARK here. Let's look up ARK. So look at ARK movement compared to Tesla. So ARK was more violent than Tesla, in terms of the drop. But it looks pretty much like the same chart if you hold it up here. So here's Tesla on Friday. Here's ARK. We had the big drop, sort of recovery, and then consolidation, chop, and then drop at the end of the day. So kind of interesting. Long-term ARK trading is not for me. Yeah, I mean it's kind of crazy. I'll have to do some more research on ARK. Yeah, I definitely suggest it. Yeah, Zillow at the top of ARK for the innovation ETF. I find rather interesting. Rather just buy those. I think Coolio. Instead of just buying those companies, I think that you also like this ETF also gives you a lot of exposure. I mean, in this ETF, I mean, they have therapeutics, they have Teladoc, they got Zillow, they got Spotify, they got Twilio, Shopify, PayPal, DocuSign. So I mean, it's kind of crazy, these companies. I got to look up what some of these companies actually do. I don't know what some of these guys are. I mean, they got Taiwan's Semiconductor in here. It's ADR. They also have Tencent, which obviously is going to increase volatility here. Tencent. I don't know if did they say Tencent was? I think they said Tencent wasn't going to be in the China ban. I invested in all the ARK ETFs like KFQA. Nice. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with ARK. Tesla's pushing up though, 840 right now this morning. But other than that, this week is it's kind of light this week. Other than the inauguration, we have a 4-day week, and then we have some earnings this week. One thing that I pointed out in my video last night, and I know that some of you guys here are trading GameStop. Now, GameStop, check this out. So GameStop, so as of 1/16, so January 16th when we put this report together, GameStop was 97, almost 98% shares were short with only 6 days to cover. So we're at the third. So they have technically by Friday to cover their short. So what do you think is going to happen? So again, if you're not sure what happens when you cover a short, you have to buy back the shares. So if you're short the shares, you have to buy them back. If you buy back the shares, that's a buy order. Means it's going to increase the price most likely, the more people that do it. So I think that now, I don't know if I'm going to trade this or not. But if I was going to trade a short squeeze, it'd be freaking this one because it just seems like kind of too perfect. I mean, they got a few days to cover. We know they're already getting wrecked. Shorts are getting wrecked. Any buying pressure is going to put the pressure on the shorts to cover. and they have to cover this week, and that means they're gonna have to pay. They're gonna have to pay up. They're gonna have to pay up. Like nobody wants to pay up, so they're kind of kicking the can, hoping that it comes down. But if they only have 6 days to cover, now 3 days to cover by Friday, I mean it's not good. It's not good. So Goldman Sachs, GameStop. Come on, stop this. Stop this. So, excuse me. GameStop is it's moving up. Any movement up is probably going to be parabolic. This could get really ugly for shorts. I mean, not that it's not already ugly. I mean, if you see a stock going, if you're shorting a stock at like 15, it's at 40. I mean, you're not happy. You're not happy. If you're shorting a stock at 20, it goes to 40. You're not happy. That's a 100% loss. 100% loss. So people that are short GameStop, they're gonna be hurting. I mean, this was a definitely kind of like a penny stock short squeeze setup. So if we're at 98% short, 3 days to cover, I'm anticipating that this is going to get a little bit more squeeze. Now, in terms of options for the week, I mean, these things are ridiculous. Ridiculous. I mean, GameStop, this week alone, 333% implied volatility. So, if you're going to trade this, it's not going to be for the faint of heart. And also, with implied volatility this high, there's a lot of ways to lose. So I don't know. Maybe I'm going to try to sell some premium in here. Maybe I'm going to try to sell some premium in February expiration. Maybe at the, I don't know. I don't say I want to short, but maybe I can get. I'm gonna have to play around with the pricing. Yeah, so Red Dust, there's only in a stock, there's only a certain amount of shares available. Like let's say there's 10 shares available. Let's say you're trading a stock that's got 10 shares available. If you short, if people shorted 7 of those 10 available shares, you're going to be at a 70% float. So I'm going to see what happens. I want to sell some calls like way out here, but I don't want to do it yet. I don't want to do it yet. I mean, anything to the upside, it's going to create a big problem for shorts. I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. 68 million shares. Well, I guess we'll see what happens. GameStop, it can't go up forever. So I'm not going to try to time it, but if I'm going to do it, I'm going to short far out of the money calls. I really like this. Even if we get a little bit of flatness, like I just want implied volatility to go down, Let's see, is this all they got? I think they opened it up. They got the 60-55 strike, so maybe I might do something out in here, depending on how it goes. If this goes up to $60-$70, they're gonna have to have more strikes available. I don't know if they have more strikes available out in no. So right now the highest they're going, yeah, the highest they're going is 60 on these expirations right now. So the highest they're going. So I'm gonna wait. And I'm only gonna be doing defined risk trades in this stock. I'm not gonna be. I'm looking for an implied volatility move, is what I'm looking for. But I'm struggling on when to buy back in and when to take all the profits if it dips more. If you're you gotta wait for the next setup. Like for me, take a look at NIO, for example. NIO, I captured this move really nicely. Right? Came down to the 10-day. I'm kind of just being patient to see if it comes down here. You just gotta wait for the next setup. Like you don't want to catch the knife from 67 down to 56, 55, right? Now, if you're just buying shares, it's a lot easier to scale in. Like if you want to buy like, okay, I want to buy 50 shares, then another 50, then another 50, then another 50, you can do that. But for options, you have to wait for the right setup. I'm kind of saying if it's going to come down to 50 area, if it does come down, if NIO comes down to 50, I definitely want to be a buyer. But I don't know if it's going to happen. So just gotta be patient. If you miss the move, you miss the move. I mean, it is what it is. Twitter bouncing back this week. Let's see. Twitter's not doing great. It's pre-market. I mean, Friday, I mean, they had, I mean, social media in general, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, a lot of bad news came out due to potential censorship and all that whole thing. But, I mean, Twitter, I mean, the chart is kind of ugly right now. I mean, it could definitely come down to 40. It could definitely come down to 200-day moving average. It could come down here. It could come down to 42. So there's a little bit of consolidation here, but I mean, I think Twitter, whatever happens, Twitter's going to be feeling most of the effects. Like Facebook's is going to shrug it off, but even Facebook, I mean, Facebook tested the 200-day moving average down here. Tested the 200-day moving average, bounced up. Snapchat is actually really strong, even though it lost 8% in a day, like 2 days in a row. It's holding strong. Like Snapchat is holding on to the 50s really nice. So if I was going to go, let's say if you were going to say, hey Nick, let's go long a social media stock, I would probably pick Snapchat or Facebook. Twitter, I don't like the setup. Yo, Jack, what's going on? Sorry I missed you. If you guys are just joining us, say what up. Hit the like button. Happy Tuesday. We getting it. Drinking some coffee. Just trying to get different thoughts and mold it into my own strategy. Yo, man, that's what the us versus herd is about. Creating your own strategy. Something that works for you, Jack was looking at AMD. So AMD, I have a position. I actually have a couple positions on an AMD. Now, AMD, I'm playing the pre-earnings run January 26th. I think AMD came down to the 50-day. I mean, there was a lot of pressure at the end of the day. So it was holding 89 area. At the end of the day, it cranked a lot lower. So I think that it got a little bit oversold on Friday. I mean, January expiration on Friday I think was a little bit wild. I think they wanted to burn as many calls as possible because January expiration, I think people were loaded to the moon on calls. Now that they did a little bit of a reset, I think a lot of these stocks are clear to run, and AMD's one of them. I think my target is like 94, 95 area pre-earnings. Could it run up to 97, 98? Absolutely. But I think at the very least, it's going to try to get mid-range right here. I'm looking for mid-range, 94, 95 right here. I mean, it looks a little bit dangerous. It does. But this is a this is often a buy zone for AMD. So, Ariana, why are you so dark? Come on. Walmart is doo-doo. Yeah, I mean, Walmart, we talked about this. I mean, Walmart is just a disaster. It's a disaster. What if you're profitable 40%? Hypothetically, you still have, it dips 10%. Do you buy more? Listen, I don't try to overcomplicate the trade. I hit my profit targets. I sell the whole thing. That's it. I get back in when I find another setup. Like, I don't try to stay in because oftentimes when you're trade too long, it goes from a winner to a loser. I don't like that. Pelton's back to 130. I don't know. I don't think so. Pelton is let's see here. I mean, Pelton's been very, very, very strong. Now, why did it go? Like, I was watching this last week too. Like, why did it go from 150 to 170? Like, why? It was just crazy. I mean, I think it could come down to the 140 area, but as you can see here, look at the way it was trading. Okay, let's remove this. Let's look at this. Okay, pretty tight, you know, pretty consistent. But now look what's happening up in here. Look what's happening up in here. Very wide ranges as you can see here. Major gap up, major gap down, huge movement intraday, big candles. So whatever is happening up here, we'll probably expect a pretty wild move to the upside or to the downside. Because, I mean, look at these candles compared to what these candles were. Now, last time it did this, let me look at these candles here. And then look at last time it did this. After it moved up like this, we had some really wide candles like this. And then it led to another leg up. See that? So it ripped up. Then we had some violent candles right in here. And then it had another leg up. And then we had another leg up. Now we have some violent candles. So the question is it going to leg up again? I'm like, is this going to 200? So that's what I would be concerned about. That's what I would be concerned about. Zoom is getting smashed. Let's see. Let's take a look at Zoom. Yeah, Zoom's having a rough go. I mean, but what do you expect when you don't give guidance, you know? That's what happens when you don't give guidance to on earnings. How often do you trade calendar spreads? Not a lot. Not a lot. I probably should do it more, but I hardly ever. I mean, I will admit that I like trading spreads. I like trading credit and debit spreads, but I do really like, I do really like trading naked calls and puts, even though I know that they're very dangerous. Very dangerous. I do like doing it. I do like it. But if you can find some good pricing, you have a good setup, you can lower your risk, you know, but thoughts on leaps in ARQ. Yeah, I mean, I was actually looking at this over the weekend. Now, what I don't like, actually have it up here already because I was looking at it over the weekend. Now, what I don't like is ARQ. Okay, ARQ. I mein, it's weighted 11%. Over 11% in Tesla. I mean, that is huge. That's the only thing I didn't really like at ARK. So if I'm investing in ARK, let's say if I'm investing in ARK, I'm at 9% exposure on Tesla, and then if I'm in ARQ, then I'm at 11% exposure in Tesla. It seems like a lot. Just seems like a lot. You know what I mean? How many of the stocks? They got 45 stocks in here. But, I mean, if you're looking at the chart, I mean, forget about Tesla. Look at the chart. I mean, every dip is bought. A market just opened up. All right, market just opened up. S&Ps, I didn't even realize what time it was. S&Ps are up 28. Dow's up 246. Nasdaq up 110. Let's see what we can do here. Try to close some of these positions out, you know. Put some orders in. Let's put some orders in. Let's see here. Ooh, snow. Ooh, that was loud. Okay. Yeah, so I just actually got out of ARK. Only made $50, but I was down a couple hundred on that at close. So as you can see, let me show you. Let me share my P&L. So as you can see here, getting some money back today. I did sell ARK. I had the 144 calls. Now the reason why I got rid of these because I was in January expiration. I don't like that I'm in January expiration. I do think that ARK is going to go higher, but I don't think I picked the right expiration there. So I got out of that. Now AMD is costing me some money here. Facebook is up. AMD's actually floating between red and green right now. And mRNA is getting smoked. What was the news? What was the news on mRNA? What happened to them? I mean, I'm in a credit put spread. What was the news? It's New York seeks to buy vaccines directly from Pfizer. Was that it? Is that what's causing it to go down? What's the news on mRNA? This is why I don't like trading pharma. You know, like I just don't like it. We're getting a beating on AMD. Yeah, that's how AMD moves. Yeah, AMD. Let's see here. Yeah, they brought that way down. Oof. Facebook is going all right. Facebook is going all right though. Yeah, what was the news on mRNA? Was it just Pfizer, the New York thing? Does anybody know? For screw Lulu, I got to roll over at this point. Yeah, Lululemon is tough, man. It's tough. Tesla's moving up this morning. Apple's moving up. Let's see what else we got here. Nvidia is up 7, so Nvidia is pushing up. We'll see what happens. But this morning it's kind of obviously there's going to be some sellers this morning due to what happened on Bad Batch in California. mRNA. Nvidia is pushing up from its lows though. I was looking for this. Nvidia, I didn't know if it was gonna bounce around here, but I thought it might around like 512. Look at this. It hit 512 area, bounced where this is a bounce area. So Nvidia's looking good. Let's see what else we got. What else we have here? I can't believe. Yeah, that's a big drop. That's a big drop for mRNA. It's a tough. Where is? Yeah, it's not. It's nothing in the top of the list here, but BTU, maybe the next plug. Let's see here. BTU. Yeah, I mean it is looking a little bit on the bullish side. I mean, it just crossed over the. Hold on one second. It just crossed over the 200-day, the 50-day, and the 10-day. So I mean, it's kind of starting to point up. I don't know if it's gonna be the next plug, but I mean, if you're looking to be bullish, I mean, it does look decent. It does look decent. I mean, obviously, to give you more context, you're gonna want to probably go to like a 5-year time frame and kind of see the situation. You know, kind of interesting. I mean, it could just make sure you manage your risk appropriately. Let's see, what are the options? I mean, yeah, pretty high price, 165% for February, 142%. I mean, you could, if you want to. Volume is very, very low on these. I mean, if you want to buy shares, I mean, that's probably a better bet. But options is kind of bad. Not a lot of liquidity in there. I did not talk about Lemonade. Let's see here. Let's look at Lemonade. I did trade it like a month ago, but I haven't looked at it since. All right, AMD actually, Jack, AMD is taking some wild swings this morning. It's actually back up. I mean, just crazy. Just checking to see if there's any news. So LM Lemonade, I get why it's going parabolic. The question is it over? When's earnings here? Earnings is February, not till February 24th. I mean, if it can hold here, if it can hold here, I think would be good. Markets coming down a little bit. So I mean, I think if Lemonade can hold here, will be good. But I'm gonna stay away. I'm gonna stay away. It might come down to 120. You know, it might come down. So right now, AMD's pumping up now. That's the thing about AMD. I mean, this is a very, if you never traded AMD before, this is very typical. The drops and the rips, like very, very typical. And you know, you gotta understand each stock's personality. Each stock has its own personality. So yeah, some of these stocks are just kind of straight chilling right now. What's Amazon doing? Amazon, it's up 20. I mean, not big, up a little bit over than 0.5%, but looks good. I mean, if Amazon can hold here, it looks good to a bounce up to the 3,200 area. Nice 50 to 80 point run would be nice, but range is tight right down here. So Amazon looks interesting. If it can hold on. If it can hold on. And a lot of these stocks like kind of selling at the open here, but a lot of them gapped up. Facebook is coming straight down. The one stock that's holding up the best, interestingly enough, is is the one I sold, ARK K. I mean, I sold it at open. I mean, it's only up a few cents from where I sold. You know, about 40 cents. But yeah, ARK is pushing. Square is another one that I'm looking for to kind of make a rebound. It's sold off as well this morning. So some of these stocks are being sold off on this gap up here, taking a hit. But I mean, getting some money back today, so we'll see what happens. I mean, yeah, ARK is up $4 this morning. Huge. Let's see here. Roku. Maybe I guess this is probably why ARK is going up so high, because Roku is up 20. I mean, that's crazy. Roku is up 20. I mean, Roku is not stopping. It's just not stopping. So I guess that's why, because I mean, Roku's highly weighted in ARK. I mean, I think today is going to be kind of interesting. Are they sucking bulls in? What's the plan here? What is the plan? But right now it's kind of just everything's just kind of chilling. I'm making some money back on CLOV. CLOV is I'm selling some naked puts in there right now. CLOV took a beating, but I mean, still looking all right. I mean, this thing has been dropping pretty hard. So if it could defend, I mean, again, I needed to stay above 1270. So far, I'm still in the green zone. We'll see. It's a fake out. All right, making some money back on AMD now as well. AMD's pushing back up. We'll see if it could break. We'll see if we could break 90 on this thing. AMD's getting a little crazy. Just using some patience. AMD, Facebook, just use some patience on. Netflix is running pretty hard right now. Netflix is ripping to the 510 area. So I'm gonna try to get out of my debit call spread pre-earnings. I don't really want to hold for earnings. Just try to get a little bit and get out. That's kind of my goal. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna go refill my coffee. You guys have a great day. Thanks for hanging out with me today on this short week. Just be careful tomorrow. Inauguration tonight, Netflix earnings. So you guys have a great day. Stay safe, stay green. It's us for cert.